My name is Simon Onyx, Assistant Undersecretary for Indian Affairs. Simply here to prepare you for what's about to come.
Ebenezer Scrooge, you will be haunted by 3 spirits.
You know the story, do you? Are you certain? You know what comes after the happy ending?
Where is this place?
Ebenezer Scrooge. You must admit, you lived a wretched life.
I changed.
Oh, please spare me.
I changed. I promised the spirits.
Your promise was too little and too late.
Well, what of me then?
You will still get a chance of redemption by helping others to find their own.
Well, if you're both here, what am I?
Dead
Dead?
as a doornail.
The 4 of us are now dependent upon each other, for better or worse.
Dependent on each other for what?
Redemption.
Your second chance will have to be here now, Ebenezer. The same as ours.
So don't muck it up.
It seems it takes both of you to save an angel.
That young lady is who you have to save.
We specialize in Christmas miracles.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Journey along for the untold twist in the life of Ebenezer Scrooge. The stakes are higher, the times unfamiliar, but the ultimate goal remains the same: redemption. Oh, and of course along the way there's music and laughter, good cheer and maybe a tear, if you're into that sort of thing, I suppose. Sometimes an ending is just a place for an all-new beginning, and this certainly is.
Christmas, Christmas, how I missed you, Christmas.
Welcome to the Best of the Filmmakers show.
Welcome.
Welcome.
And welcome.
Welcome to the Best of the Filmmakers show.
The 11th season.
Song now.
I love it.
So that's our brand new theme song, and our music composer and musician and I think just genius, Tony Rodriguez, is with us today. And Tony, how are you? Welcome to the Best of the Filmmaker show. And we can't thank you enough for that theme. It is modern, it's exciting, it's got everything I would have ever wanted to do but can't do. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
So, first and foremost, tell me all about you and tell everybody here on Long Island who you are, what you do, and how you came so far in life with this.
Well, first of all, welcome to Walk Sound Studio. This is my home studio where I do everything. Music basically started from a young age. I was, 9 years old and living in a small apartment in Union City, New Jersey, and started with percussion. But being that we lived in a small apartment, percussion was too loud, so my mom bought me a little keyboard, and then, just started banging on the keys. And from there, I kept on going and growing, joining different groups, youth groups, music ministries, and learning as I went on and on and on, which led to other opportunities, small opportunities, some big, some small, and just going back and forth through life with that. And now we're here, and, this is the plan A and plan B.
Well, your plan A and plan B,
Hey.
what do you think? Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
You said to me you got chills when you first heard this. Tell him that.
Oh, my.
Tell him what you said. You got chills.
Because I'm coming down the stairs and I hear this fantastic, energized melody. And then he said, Anthony did this. And I'm getting chills as I'm coming down the stairs. It was like, I'm eager to get to the bottom to see who's doing this.
Yeah.
And it's you.
You know what's really funny?
Oh.
When she's talking, it looks like she's crawling.
Yes!
So if I
get so excited. I'm Italian, I'm sorry.
So
that's awesome.
what year, like when did you start working on your own things? Because you've got some beautiful things that we're going to sample tonight. I love that. And some of your songs, definitely going to put them on tonight. People are going to great vibe.
Thanks. My journey is one of those journeys where you have to build your own door and open it.
Oh, right.
Nothing was given to me. You know, everything is earned. And people like me, we have to work a lot, maybe twice as hard. So a lot of the music that's out is under my name as an artist, but it's also, you know, it's used for multiple things, and not only for me as an artist, but also for projects for TV. So I license my music. I work with different publishers, so they can use my music. So whatever music is available for licensing, they can use it. And so, you know, and networking.
When you started out with a little keyboard, is that it, you said?
Yeah, cheap keyboard, one of those Yamaha tiny keyboards. And so played by ear. My dad played guitar, and my mom sang. So it was like practice every day, because she would sing at home, and I would pull the keyboard out and just try to follow her. Everything by ear. And so my dad was very limited with music knowledge, so he told me whatever he knew on the guitar and tried to translate that into the piano and keyboard. And I would have to use common sense after that, majors and minors and stuff like that. And, you know, eventually I learned by myself by making a lot of mistakes, and education just started coming through, and, you know, just started learning. As I got older, I learned through experiences as well. So, you know, and we're here now. So my opportunities usually came because of me building stuff. You know, nobody came and gave me a handout.
Well, isn't that what creatives always do?
Yeah, so a lot of people have opportunities through connections, and, you know, sometimes, you know, one knows the other, and hey, you know. So I didn't have that a lot in my life, and to this day I still kind of build. I'm already used to the hustle. So consistency, always being there, and you know, I network. You know, and it's always networking, meeting people, and sometimes meeting people that are not the ones for you, and sometimes you meet the right people, but it's just a mysterious thing that we go. But my own music that I compose and write, it's all like for publishers and for my own music. Everything is like spread out, and so when I make my music, it's for the people, for the fans, and it's also for people to license and all that stuff, so I can market everything different ways, and that's where I'm at, you know.
When did you learn how to do all the marketing of the music? I mean, that in itself, coming from that kind of an industry, one thing doesn't move a meter, and it's very important to know that if you're on the internet and people are listening, that's great. If they're sitting in their car and they're not on the internet, well, something has to be somewhere, whether it's a bus stop or on the side of a bus, to lead you to your music. Or if you're in the newspaper world, like my wife reads Newsday every morning, well, then the paper ad still works to tell somebody about you. And there's so many other various ways of getting out there through the social media that one thing has to beget the other. So that being said, you also do God-like music. You're a Christian, I understand. It's very important to you and your family. And you do some beautiful music like the song God, which actually appeared in one of my other episodes, and that's the one, The Church That Feeds the People. So maybe we could listen to God, and if you don't mind, we can put that album cover on.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Now, you see, I felt that. That was really good. I mean, it's a strong song, a strong beat, you know, and it's where were you going with that song? I mean, that song seems to resonate with a lot of the people.
I like movies like Gladiator, Troy, all of that stuff. And my inspiration, Hans Zimmer, iconic composer. Everybody knows him in the film industry.
Sure.
And as a Christian, we have stories in the Bible that are action. We have killing, we have mercy, we have love, we have all sorts of things in the Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. So I told myself,
right.
I'm a Christian. Let me take these stories and write music according to the stories. People are not gonna know what the music is about unless they read the titles. So I write the titles according to the story in the Bible, and there's no preaching in there. There's no talking. It's just action music. So if we're talking about the beginning of time, like God, it's just a choir worshiping God. You can see an action movie of choirs. You have movies like Da Vinci Code, right? Is it Da Vinci Code? It's a religious movie, right? And so why not? So we're in heaven, we're worshiping God. You hear the choir, and then you hear percussion coming in, and it's just a steady thing. So that track represents repetition.
Right.
As you heard, it's holy, holy, and then you have another track, Kicked Out of Heaven, which is an epic track. Distortion and just Lucifer rebels against God. He wants God's throne. Yeah. You tend to hit hard. You set off people's emotions. That's really good.
That's a good impact.
Now, here's some interesting things. Ebenezer the Traveler is coming up.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited about it. A lot of work went into that. And then when you joined us, you came from Joe, our director.
Right.
And we didn't know you, but we were blown away. So I want to ask you, what gave you the inspiration? I know that Joe played the song for us when he first did it. A bit of a musician comes out of him as well. And he came to you the song as the story went, and you came along with this amazing music. It's all you. It's you guys, not us, let me tell you.
Love it.
Joe, for the first time you're actually on my show like this, and I am so proud to work with you. And you're humble, and that I love about you. The both of you guys are so humble. But
yes.
Tell me, you came to us and said there's going to be a song. We didn't know anything about a song. Let's go all the way back for that. You came up with it. Now, where did you get the idea for a Christmas song like that? The words are so pertinent, and when we heard it in that hotel room, I mean, we had chills. It's the first time we're hearing it, and it was a rough. It was only a rough. Right. So where did it come from? Tell us, guys.
I mean, when we decided that the character Angel was going to perform in some sort of show, it was kind of natural. It's a Christmas movie. I was like, I wanted to write a Christmas song for the movie. Now, I've loved music my whole life, started when I was young. I've done songwriting, played in bands, and the thing was, it was another wonderful opportunity to combine like my two passions, music and filmmaking, together. So when I decided, like, okay, we need a Christmas song for the movie, I just started, putzing around on the guitar, trying to come up with a melody, and then kind of came up with this concept to interweave the story that it's having, like the troubles that Angel's having in her life, and, talk about how you're missing Christmas or maybe not celebrating as much, and kind of bringing that Christmas spirit back, but also pulling from all Christmas songs in the past. So we talk about chestnuts on the fire, we talk about having a white Christmas, we talking about all these different sort of Christmas cliches that are in all these other songs, and I wanted to kind of inject that throughout the whole song, because all of that is the spirit of Christmas. And so we wanted to take all these components from all these different wonderful Christmas songs and put them into one song, and really, kind of like become the song that brings Christmas spirit back to everybody.
Don't you realize too, it's the emotion?
It is a lot of
Roller
emotion.
coaster
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of
going on.
emotion.
Yeah.
So
Great.
he came to you. You guys are friends for a long time, I take it?
No, we met a few months before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boy.
From
Wow.
Right, so the thing is, I don't even like to call myself a musician. I'm more of a songwriter, because I never practice as much. I know enough to get by to write a song, so I need a composer to come in and bring the magic to the song. So I basically come and say, here's the lyrics, here's the melodies, this is what I'm thinking, and voila, he puts the magic together to make the song professional.
And what did you think when you first heard everything? Because that's got a...
I love hearing roughs. I love hearing songwriters send stuff that's already completed. It makes my job easier. And then the hardest part is what am I going to do with it? Because he presented his idea, and so the question to myself was, should I keep it the same way he has it? Instrumentation, I'm not talking about the whole big orchestral stuff, or should I go big orchestral stuff? But then I started to understand a bit more about the movie, Christmas, and I started to just come up with some ideas, which I told him first. I'm like, I'm gonna do some things. What I kept of the song is just his melody and the changes. I didn't modify nothing. I didn't tell him, hey, you should drive this way. You should get rid of this and go over here, or maybe you should put this over here. I kept it the same way, and that's what I told myself. Let's keep it the same way. I didn't tell him that. I just to myself.
He held out on you.
Yeah, I'm like, let's keep the arrangement the same way, the way he wrote it, and I'm just gonna orchestrate it. I'm just gonna orchestrate what he wrote.
But he added to it.
Of course,
that's the thing.
Well,
I'm not even talking about the adding of the instruments.
Yeah.
I'm talking about enhancing it. Yeah, just like adding the little intermissions between the verses and the key changes and stuff like that. I mean, that was the beauty of it. That was all him doing that.
You wrote the music, but you also brought the chords from the guitar.
Right, the chords from the guitar, and I think I added little keyboards, where I thought the strings would be.
Yeah, like
and that was the thing, right? It was like a 4 or 5 track little rough thing that, gave the idea of the song. But when Anthony took it and added all these things, when he first presented it, that was it. I mean, there was nothing that I was taking away or changing. All we did was add some stuff, and it would be like, things like, oh, on this part, could you add strings going da da da, and add the sleigh bells, and maybe on the second verse, like that, we were just adding to it. I mean, it was very much the same relationship as I had with Leland, our writer.
That's right.
He wrote everything. We never took anything away or said, no, rewrite this or change it. I kept calling him saying, we need to add another scene here, so write another scene, and we have to connect these stories together, so add another scene about this, and that was like the sort of the same thing. There were no when he sent the first draft of what he composed, that was it. That's what you hear now in the final song.
Can we put on a bar of that?
Yeah, the only thing we did was just add a couple of maybe we put strings here, add sleigh bells here, and that was it.
Well, that's what I wanted.
So,
I was going to say, can you play a bar or two again, just so we can listen to it together, and then you can tell us what you put into it.
So just to put it out there, he took the unconventional route, because usually we get picture first, and then we write to the scene. So he came at it as a modern producing type of deal, where okay, hey, I wrote a song as an artist. he approached it as an artist, and I was like, okay, so he says I'm gonna film it according to the soundtrack. So I'm like, you sure? What you want me to do in the beginning? He's like, just write it. He told me just write. I'm gonna shoot according to the soundtrack.
The Steven Spielberg approach, eh?
Yeah. So it was pretty fun. So it put a little pressure on me. So I had to picture, the information that he gave me. I had to kind of put myself in that predicament. Okay, that's what the introduction has that in the beginning, because she's walking on the stage, and then the reprise at the end, where we're celebrating all together. That's where we had the people standing up in the theater for that part.
Right.
So everything was planned. It wasn't just that I just sat there and the first thing was, let me keep what he wrote. I want to keep the melody exactly what he wrote. I want to keep the chord changes exactly, and I just want to orchestrate on top of that. So making the chord a little bit more beautiful and a little bit more, but everything underneath that is what he wrote, and it was the decision to just keep it that way. Of course, as a music producer, we're like, we can go, hey, I think that we should do this, we should do that.
Right.
But, that doesn't work. We've gone so far. I've gone so far in my life as a producer where I enjoy hearing people's ideas, and I enjoy enhancing that stuff.
Sure.
I don't like putting my 100% in there, because it's going to take away from what he wrote. And that's why he pretty much liked the first version. I was waiting for notes to come back and probably say, hey, this is too much. What I send you, can you stick to that? He could have said that. He could have said, oh, can you just take all that? It's too awkward. It's too much.
And instead what I said was, it sounds like a Disney soundtrack.
That's exactly what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Disney soundtrack. In fact, the funny thing was, I actually thought you worked with Disney because it came out so Disney-esque.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that sounds like a Disney song.
This information only stays here in the interview, but I used Frozen as a reference. Frozen 2.
That's interesting. Play another bar or two. I just want to.
Okay,
then I want to know what your favorite parts of the songs are.
So what we could do is to make it to give you guys more of a taste. Instead of playing a bar, we can break things down.
Okay.
All right.
And then we could play something all together. So we have the reverb section here of the soundtrack. We have how we add realness to the soundtrack. We have a algorithmic reverb and a convolution reverb. The difference is that the algorithmic reverb is like artificial, a bunch of little rhythms mixed together that creates a reverb. The convolution reverb is what you will hear at a hall, at a church, anywhere that's natural. Okay, so that's the difference. So when you mix a convolution reverb and algorithmic reverb, it creates a beautiful, lush reverb that expands out. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that would add realness to the instruments. So over here we have what I called the orchestral ensemble, which is sounds of the whole orchestra together. I could play that for you.
Sure.
So the purpose of that part was to give the crescendo at the end of the song.
Sure.
So we have boom, everybody together. So that's that little group of ensemble instruments there. And over here we have a nice brass section over here. This is where I was afraid that Joe was going to be like, this is too much. Can you go back to my original idea? So we have some horns here.
That didn't happen.
we have some horns here that I can play. A mix of.
Well, I hear it, but I actually can't place where it is.
So
that's so funny.
So also put the volume higher. You can hear the reverb.
Wow.
And then we have some shorts.
Now I know it, sure.
Yeah.
And the reprise part, you have this.
I love that part. It's so rich. Wow.
You hear the reverb. And
I do, yeah, sure.
And then that's the brass section. So, you know, everything is according to what part is going to be pushing forward. So we wanted to make sure that Emily had good music to sing forward without being held back. And then we have the beautiful woodwinds here that we added to that. Beautiful. Over here you have some.
Welcome to the Best of the Filmmakers show.
Welcome.
Welcome!
Welcome.
Welcome! Welcome!
And welcome.
Welcome to the Best of the Filmmakers show.
The 11th season.